Friends, welcome to our today's session. In a previous session, we are discussing about perquisites. Some of the items we have already covered. We have completed our discussion. We will continue with the remaining items. Before that, as usual, we'll do a quick recapitulation of what we have learned in our last session. Wait for a minute. I'm going to share the screen with you. You already know salary has got various components. Basic salary, other components are also there. Then allowances, perquisites, profit in lieu of salary, all these things we have discussed. Some of the items of perquisites we have already discussed. These are basically non-monetary benefits. And in the context of perquisite, you know, there is a need to classify employees into normal employees or specified employees. Specified employees, you know, he may be a director employee or employee who has substantial interest in the company or in the entity, or employee with gross taxable salary of more than rupees 50,000 rupees per year. Right. So these three kinds of employees shall be treated as specified employees. And there are certain specific perquisites which are taxable only for specified employees. Therefore, we have classified employees like this: specified employees and our normal employees. This concept we had discussed earlier. And how rent-free accommodation will be taxed, that we have already discussed in our previous class, right? And rent-free or furnished accommodation, rent-free, furnished accommodation, both the things are discussed. In case you have any query, then recorded videos are available on YouTube. This class videos are available, so you can refer to that. Gardener facility, education facility, all these things you have discussed. I think in the previous class we were discussing about this education facility, and some of you has raised some specific query on this. So what we will do, we'll start today from this point, education facility. Once again, let us discuss this thing. Since in the previous class query was raised, so I referred to the original rule, the bare rule, what it says. Some of you raised that query, that what is the meaning of this thing, provide otherwise. So let us see what the rule says, because different authors has explained it in different way. So if I go to the original rule, income tax rules, rule 3.5, then you will find this is the exact rule which is written. Can you see it?
Yes, sir.
This is about education facility. Have you remembered last class? There are some doubt. Some of you guys raised an query that is there an example?
Yes, sir.
Like this. Okay, so we'll continue our discussion from that point of view. It's good that you have raised that query. So if you raise those queries, then we'll also do a research. We'll find out what can be the possibilities. Right. Okay. But otherwise, we have to depend upon various authors, and their opinion varies. Different books have written it in a different way. But let us read this original provision. The rule says, you read this rule along with me, the value of benefit to the employee resulting from provisions of free or concessional educational facility for any member of his household shall be determined as the sum equal to amount of expenditure incurred by the employer in that behalf. That means if the employer is incurring some expenditure, then that should be treated as the value of the percentage. So in our chart, it is what we are writing. If it is education facilities provided to the children, the cost of education is taxable. Okay, cost of education is taxable because you see the rule says like this: amount of expenditure incurred by the employer, or where the education institution is itself maintained and owned by the employer, or where free education facilities for such member or employees household are provided in any other educational institution by reason of his being employment, that is by virtue of his employment it is provided, or where education institution is maintained or owned by the employer. Then what will the value? The value of the perquisites to the employees shall be determined with reference to the cost of such education in a similar institution in near the locality. So this is the provision. Okay, so there are three possibilities. You see, if educational institution is maintained and owned by the employer, or education facilities provided by reason of his employment. If these are the situation, then what will the value of per capita? It's cost of education in a similar institution near the locality. Okay. So that is what we are saying, that if education facilities provided in an institution owned or maintained by the employer or provided by virtue of employment in the other institution, then cost of education in the similar institution in the locality is taxable. Okay. Now, the first part, if you see, first part is says otherwise. If it is not so, then what will happen? The amount of expenditure incurred by the employer in that behalf. Therefore, we'll learn it like this. If it is provided otherwise, that means institution is not owned or maintained by the employer, right? And it is not provided by virtue of employment. Then the third option, if at all any, then cost of education shall be taxed. So this is how we'll try to understand Rule 3.5 of Income Tax Rule 1962. Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in case any query like this, so it will be always better. We'll go to the original source. We'll refer to the act or refer to the rule and try to interpret. Okay, what the language, what is the kind of language mentioned there, right? You already know, I had already shown you. You can visit to the Income Tax Department's website. There is a link there, Act and Rules. So you go there, you can find out, you can download, you can see what is the exact provision. So things will be clarified to you. So this is about education facility, right, friends? Now, in that context, few more points also we need to remember. In that case, that means in case of education facility, the value of perquisite shall be nil if the cost of such education or the value of such benefit does not exceed rupees 1,000 per month. So rupees 1,000 per month, if benefit is worth rupees 1,000 per month, then it is exempt. But where the cost of education exceeds rupees 1,000 per month per child, the whole amount shall be taxable. Here you have to remember this thing. The whole amount shall be taxable, not that the incremental amount. Whole amount shall be taxable in the hands of the employee, and no deduction of rupees 1,000 per month shall be allowed. Right? Okay. Did you understand? So this part you have to remember.
Yes,
Addition, the cost of education exceeds rupees 1,000 per month. The whole amount shall be taxable in the hands of the employee, and no deduction of rupees 1,000 shall be allowed. It's the extra thing. So this part has not been mentioned in the study material. This you have to pay a little extra attention. Okay. Reimbursement of education expenditure to employee is fully taxable. Reimbursement of school fee to family members of employee directly to the school is taxable to all employees. Okay. And in other cases, taxable to specified employees. Then other cases means not for family members, if some other cases. Then concessional facility. If some amount is charged, that has to be reduced. That has to be recovered. A child includes stepchild, adopted child, but doesn't include grandchild or illegitimate child. Scholarship on the basis of performance is not taxable. Contribution to educational trust, where beneficiary is the children of employee, is not taxable. If the employer is making some contribution to some trust, and ultimately the beneficiary of the trust are employee children, if that kind of contributions are not taxable in the hands of employees. These are the few points which were discussed in our previous class also. Now we'll move to the next perquisite. This is about value of interest-free loan. Okay, this is a new perquisite we are going to discuss. There are some employers who give interest-free loan to their employees. The question arises how to arrive at the value of that perquisite. That's definitely perquisite because loan is interest-free. So we have to compare these two. What is the State Bank of India lending rates? We need to arrive at SBI lending rates. Then how much interest paid by the employer? Okay, the difference shall be taxable. Let us assume the State Bank of India lending rate is 10%, and employees are charged 2%. The difference 8% shall be the taxable value of the perquisite. Okay, did you understand?
yes, sir.
Now, and connected to this, we need to understand no tax if loan in aggregate does not exceed 20,000 rupees. That means small loans. If small loan is taken, interest free, then that will not be treated as a taxable purchase. Okay. Then, or loan is provided for treatment of certain specified diseases. In these two cases, the loan amount or the interest-free loan shall not be regarded as a taxable purchase. What are the two cases? It's a small loan. The aggregate value of the loan doesn't exceed 20,000. Aggregate means if multiple loans are taken, sum up all these things, right? Or the loan is taken for treatment of certain specified diseases. I'll be showing you the list of those diseases. And this list is mentioned under Rule 3A of income tax. Right? In these two cases, interest-free loan shall not be regarded as a taxable purchase. Okay. And if it is a concessional loan, not a free loan, it's a concessional loan. Concessional loan in the sense, some lower interest is recovered. Then what will happen? Amount charged from the employee shall be reduced from the value of purchase. Okay, we'll find out what is the SBI lending rate and what is the amount charged. The difference will be taxable. Okay, did you get this point?
Yes, sir.
Now, let us try this question. Here is an example you see. Here, first case, you see there is only one loan. Loan amount is 15,000. Interest charge is 3,000. Now, interest at SBI lending rate is 10%. You have to tell me what is the value of purchase, what is the taxable amount of interest. Can you tell me first case? What is the SBI lending rate? First you arrive at. What is the value of purchase, if any? What is the taxable value? First case, can you tell me? Or first case, I am going to help you. So you see, so SBI lending rate 10%. You see, 10% of 15,000, you can find out 1,500. Okay, so 1,500 is the SBI lending rate. How much is charged from employee? 300. So value of purchase is 1,200. Okay. And the taxable value is nil. Why taxable value is nil? Can anyone explain? What is the reason?
Because the amount is less than 20,000.
Less than 20,000. Okay, very good. Now, second case, can you tell me? Second instance. That is also one loan. Interest charge is 500.
So the SBI lending rate will be 2,500.
Right, 2,500. What's the value of purchase?
2,000.
2,000.
2,000. And how much amount is taxable?
Nil.
Nil. Taxable amount.
Not nil.
How much? The amount of purchase will be taxable. Right. So 2,500 is the SBI lending rate. Value of the purchase 2,000. The amount of purchase, the value of the purchase 2,000. Entire 2,000 will be taxable. Are you getting it?
So
Yes,
the
sir.
whole amount will be taxable.
Yes, whole amount is taxable. That's what we arrived at now. Whole amount means the value of purchase. This
Okay, sir.
2,000. That will be taxable. Okay. Now,
Yes.
third case, you tell me.
Interest is 1,800 and value of purchase is
How much?
1,450.
Okay. And how much is taxable?
Nil.
Nil. Because aggregate doesn't exceed 20,000. Okay. Very good. Okay. Now, fourth case.
$2,100.
2,100. Okay. What's the value of purchase?
1680.
1680. How much is taxable?
$16.80.
1680. Okay, entire amount is taxable. I think you have understood this concept. Okay, let's move further. Yeah. Now, this is next perquisite is about value of movable assets. So some employers, they provide some movable asset to their employees, and that is definitely perquisite. So movable asset may be a computer, maybe laptop, maybe a mobile phone, etc. So how to arrive at the value of perquisites? It's like this. If the movable asset is a laptop, computer, mobile, etc., so they are fully exempt. That means value of perquisites is 0. Okay. Second thing is that if any other movable asset is provided, but it is only for official use, some movable assets are provided. It can be anything. Okay, then it is fully exempt. Since it is official use, there is no personal use, it is fully exempt. Okay, did you understand these 2 points? Computer, laptop, mobile, fully exempt. Any other assets for official use is fully exempt. Now, this middle part is that other assets for personal use. If it is for personal use, then only it may become a perquisite. In that case, we have to see whether the asset is owned by the employer or hired by the employer. If it is owned by the employer, then just like the furniture case we are doing, then 10% of the original cost shall be treated as the value of the perquisite. And if those assets are hired by the employer, then what is the taxable value? Higher charges that are payable by the employer. That means actual higher charges shall be the amount of perquisite. Did you understand this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Once again, have a look. Computer, laptop, mobile, fully exempt. Other assets for official use, fully exempt. But other assets for personal use, if they're owned by employer, then 10% of original cost. Hired by the employer, actual higher charges. Okay, this is as per Rule 377. Okay. And here you have to remember one more thing. If some money is recovered from the employee, then that will be reduced. Is it done? Let us say value of the perquisites for movable assets is 12,000 rupees. But employer is recovering 1,000 rupees from employer. Then the value of the perquisite will be 12,000 minus 1,000, 11,000 will be the value of perquisite. Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. So that law is always there. Now, the next perquisite is that valuation of perquisite. This is regarding a movable asset sold by an employer to its employee. First case we had seen, in the earlier case we have seen that movable asset provided by the employer for use. But in this case, what is happening? Movable asset is sold by the employer to employee. Okay, so if it is sold at a concessional rate, then it will amount to a perquisite. Okay, now how to arrive that value? It is like this. If the movable asset, computer, laptop, printer, the rate of depreciation will be 50%. So what we'll do, we'll depreciate the asset at 50% on WDV method. WDV method means
Written down with.
written down value method. We'll depreciate. We'll find out what is the value of that asset. Okay, let us say WDV value of the asset is 25,000. Okay, but it is sold to employee at 20,000. That 5,000 rupees is the perquisite. Right?
Yes, sir.
Right. Like that you have to write. So computer, laptop, printer, etc. depreciation rate is 50%, and we have to apply this depreciation rate following WDV method. In case of car, then what is the rate of depreciation? Can you read it here?
20%.
20%. And we have to follow WDV method. And any other asset, including household appliances, let us say a fridge, AC, etc., all these things. The rate of depreciation is, can you see it?
10%.
10%. But here you have to remember what is the method.
Straight line method.
Straight line
SLM.
method.
Yeah, straight line method we have to correct. So accordingly, we have to charge depreciation. We have to find out the value, depreciated value of the asset. Then we will find out at what price it is sold to employee. If employee is paying less, then difference is the per. Okay,
Yes, sir.
right. So written down value, or you can say depreciated value in excess of the sale value shall be taxed. And one more thing, this depreciation shall be charged for each completed year. No depreciation per part of the year. Okay, only when year is completed, then depreciation is charged. No depreciation per part of the year. Did you understand?
Okay, sir.
Okay, let us say employer has just purchased a car. Okay, after 3 days it is selling to an employee. In that case, since it's the part of the year, no depreciation will be charged. Only when 1 year is over, then depreciation will be charged. And depreciated value will be arrived at. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
The same thing has been explained in this chart. Computer and electronic item, depreciated value of the asset, depreciation is computed at the rate of 50% on WDV. Motor cars 20%, other cases 50%, other cases 10%. Okay. Now, friends, we'll move to one more perquisite. This is about medical facility. Facility means medical facilities provided. It's not medical reimbursement and not medical allowance. Now, medical facility, how to value this perquisite? It is like this. First, you have to categorize whether it is provided in India or provided outside India. Okay. First, let us see. We'll assume if it is provided in India. If it is provided in India, then it may be provided at workplace, in the office, factory, etc., or in a government declared hospital, or in other places. Okay, or in other places. Anywhere this might be provided. Okay. If it is provided in workplace, then it is not taxable at all. If it is provided in government declared hospital, then also it is not taxable. But if it is provided in any other places, and if that is for specified diseases, then it is not taxable. But if it is for other diseases, then it is taxable.
So here, any other places means private hospitals?
Yes, any other places means law is silent on this. So you have to interpret it as the private hospital, which is not a government hospital, not in company's own workplace. Some entities, some employers have their hospital in their workplace also, hospital dispensary they have. So if it is provided at the workplace, then it is not taxable at all. Government declared hospital also not taxable. Other places, only for specified diseases, it is not taxable. For other diseases, it is taxable. Okay, here it is important for us to know what are the specified diseases. And earlier means here I had told you. Yeah, regarding interest-free loan, I had also told you if loan is taken for specified diseases, then it is not a taxable perquisite. Okay, so interest-free loan when it is for specified diseases, it is not taxable. And medical facility, if it is for specified diseases, then also it is not taxable. So now you might be wondering what are the specified diseases? This is the list of specified diseases. You need not remember, just have a look at this. These are the diseases. For these diseases, if treatment is provided and loan is taken, they are not taxable. Okay. So cancer, TB, AIDS, like this, some of the major diseases are noted here. This is as per Rule 3 of Income Tax Rule 1962. Are you able to read it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, let's move. Now, up to this, it is clear. Workplace, government declared hospital not taxable, other specified diseases is not taxable. For other diseases, it is taxable. Okay, fully taxable.
Yes.
Now, coming to the other part. Other part is the medical facilities provided outside India. If medical facilities provided outside India, that facility will divide it into three components: travel expenditure, stay expenditure, and medical expenditure. Travel expenditure is exempted if the employee's gross total income is less than 2 lakh. Stay expenses and medical expenses, it exempt to the extent permitted by Reserve Bank of India. The Reserve Bank by RBI for the purpose of releasing foreign exchange for foreign treatment sanctions a limit, and up to that limit, stay expenditure and medical expenditures are exempt. Beyond that, it is taxed. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And travel expenditure is exempt if the gross total income is less than 2 lakh rupees. Okay. And some connected points we have to remember that as regards to medical facilities, the following shall not be the permitted: medical treatment of employee or his family provided in the hospital maintained by the employer. Employer's own hospital, if it is maintained and this facility is provided, then it is not a permitted. Or the sum paid by employer for expenditure actually incurred by employee in the hospital maintained by the employer or government or local authority or hospital approved by central government. Okay. Or in a hospital which is approved by Chief Commissioner. So for treatment of the employee and family, in these hospitals, hospital maintained by the employer, hospital maintained by the central government, local authority, approved by, or a hospital which is approved by central government or approved by Chief Commissioner. So facilities are provided, then this will not be treated as permitted. Okay. And it can be for the employee as well as for family. Treatment may be for employee and for family. Okay. And what is the meaning of family? Family here means spouse, children, whether dependent or independent, that doesn't matter. Parents, brothers, sisters of the individual who are only or mainly dependent of the others. Okay, parents, brothers, sisters, only when they are wholly and mainly dependent, they will be included. And spouse, children of the associate are included, whether they are dependent or independent. Okay, now.
Yes, sir.
One more point you have to also remember. Premium paid by the employer to general insurance corporation for insurance of health of the employees or medical insurance premium. These premiums are not taxable for kids. Okay. And as we were discussing earlier, if amount payable for treatment outside India, medical expenditure to the extent permitted by the RBI is not appropriate. And if the gross total income of the employee doesn't exceed 2 lakh rupees, then travel abroad for patient and one attendant is fully deductible, fully exempted. Stay abroad for the patient for one attendant as permitted by the RBI is also exempt. Okay. So this was about medical facility. Okay, friends.
Yes, sir.
Now, let us move to the next part. This is about car facility. Some employers provide this facility, car facility to employees. So there are various conditions. We have to remember a series of things. Now, watch it minutely. First situation you see. You see this table shows 5 columns. This is the case number. Second column is that car owned by, who owns the car? Car might be owned by the employer or employee. Who is maintaining the car? Third column is about car maintained by whom. Fourth column is that use of the car, purpose of use, maybe for official, maybe for personal, maybe for both. Then in the last column, we'll find out what is the taxable value. Okay. You understood the structure?
Yes, sir.
Now, one by one, we'll analyze. First, let us say, car is owned by employer. Employer's car, let us say company's car, maintained by the employer. Okay, owned by employer, maintained by the employer. Purpose is official. Taxable value will be nil. Okay, and here you may remember one more thing. Whenever the purpose is only official, taxable value is always nil. Okay, perquisites will be, there will be some value of the perquisites only when it is used for personal purposes or official cum personal, both purposes. Otherwise, when it is purely for official purpose, taxable value is always nil. Okay, because employee is not getting any personal benefit out of this. He's using car, but only for personal purpose.
Okay.
Right. So first case you have seen, employer's car, employer is maintaining for official purposes, taxable value, how much?
Nil.
Nil. Second case we will see, employer's car, employer is maintaining for personal purpose. Personal purpose means it is a perquisite. Employer is maintaining, so actual maintenance cost. Okay, actual maintenance cost is the value of the perquisite. Plus for car, car is also owned by the employer. So 10% of the original cost of the car. Let us say cost of the car is 5 lakh, so 50,000 for car. 10% of the original cost. Plus actual maintenance cost. Let us say during the year, employer has spent another 60,000 for maintenance. So 60,000 plus 50,000. Okay, 1,10,000 will be the value of purchase. Did you understand this?
Yes, sir.
Third case you see, employer's car, employer is maintaining, and it is for both. Both means
Official and personal.
official and personal purposes. Here it will be a little difficult to segregate how much is official, how much is personal. So what has happened? Law has prescribed easy way. That means if it is a big car means it is above 1,600 cubic capacity, 1,600 cc, or 1.6 liters, more than 1.6 liters of engine capacity. Then what will happen? 2,400 per month. So big cars 2,400 per month and small cars 1,800 per month will be the value of the perquisite. It is used for both official purposes, for personal purposes. So to the extent it is personal purposes, that is the value of the perquisite. Since there will be difficulty in exactly finding out how much is official purpose, how much is personal purpose. So this plot is provided. Big cars, how much? 2,400 per month, and small cars 1,800 rupees per month. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, next, employer's car, employee is maintaining, but it's for official purpose. So taxable value
Nil.
nil, since it is official purpose.
Yes, sir.
Situation 5, employer's car, employee is maintaining, but for personal purpose. For personal purpose, employee is maintaining, so maintenance cost is not required. Employee is maintaining, he is paying his own money, but car is owned by employer. So for the purpose of car, how much? 10% of the original cost. Okay, 10% of the original cost. Can you find the difference between 2 and 5? In case of 2, 10% of the original cost plus actual maintenance cost. Why actual maintenance cost? Because your employer is maintaining.
Yes, sir.
Since your employee is maintaining, employee is paying money out of his own pocket. So that maintenance cost is not there. So only 10% of the original cost. Okay. Did you understand these 5 points? There are other points also. We'll move to the next slide. But these 5 points are clear to you.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
There are various combinations. Okay. Now, situation 6. Situation 6 is that here you see employer's car, employee is maintaining, but for both. Here difficulty will arise to segregate how much is personal, how much is official. Okay, employer's car, employee is maintaining. Okay, here we had seen a similar situation. Employer's car, employer is maintaining for both. Okay, employer's car, employer maintaining for both. So for big cars, 2,400, per month. For small cars, 1,800 per month. Okay, we had seen it earlier. But here what I'm saying, employer's car, but employee is maintaining. So when the employee is maintaining, no issue as regards to maintenance charges. But for ownership, there is a value of per kilometer. See here what will happen. For big cars, 900 rupees per month, and for small cars, 600 rupees per month. Okay. How you know what is a big car, what is a small car? More than 1600 cc is a big car. And up to 1600 cc is a small car. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, case 7. Employee's car. Employee's car. That means employees assess his own car, but maintained by employer. Company is maintaining. And it is for official purpose. So taxable value will be how much?
Nil.
Can you interpret why it is nil?
This is for official purpose.
It's for official purpose. So taxable value is nil. Case 8. Employee's car. Employer is maintaining. And for personal. Employer's car, but maintaining home employer. And it's for personal purpose. Personal purpose means value of the perquisite is there. And employee's car, employee is using his own car, no issue, but maintenance cost, employer is paying. So the actual maintenance cost borne by the employer is the value of perquisite.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, case 9. Employee's car. Employer is maintaining for both purposes. It is for both. In that case, what will happen? First case, we had seen similar case, you see. Employer's car, employer is maintaining for both. So, perquisite was this much. That means this is the money which employer was incurring for you. Here, what will happen? Employee's car, employer is maintaining for both purposes. So, we'll find out first what is the actual maintenance cost. Right? Minus this much. Minus for big cars 2,400, for small cars 1,800. Has to be deducted. Okay. Are you getting?
Sir, if the expense incurred will be less than the 1,800 or
The taxable
24.
value of the perquisites will be 0. There will not be any negative value of perquisite. It will be 0.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Right. Then, understood point number 9. Point number 9, you have to remember. Employer is maintaining. So, you have to find out what is the maintenance cost minus this amount for small cars, 1,800, for big cars, 2,400 per month has to be deducted. And balance amount is the taxable. Balance amount, if any, is the taxable value of the perquisite. Case 10. Employee's car, employee is maintaining, then there is no perquisite. Okay, employee's car, employee is maintaining, no perquisite. So taxable value is not applicable. Company is not paying anything, so not a perquisite. Did you understand these 10 combinations?
Yes, sir.
These are the possibilities as regards to car facility. You may watch it once again. You may pause the recorded video and have a look. Things will be more clear to you. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Some connected points we need to discuss. That is, first of all, you have to remember, if the car is hired, then actual hire charges shall be considered instead of 10% of original cost. 10% of original cost when it is relevant, you see, when the car is owned by employer, the 10% of the original cost we are taking. Okay. Right. When the car is owned by employer, here 10% of the original cost we are taking. Car is owned by employer, 10% of the original cost we are taking. But employer is not owning the car. Rather, employer has hired the car. Then actual hire charges. instead of 10% of original cost shall be taken. Okay. And one more thing you have to remember. So deduction employee can get more deduction, claiming that actually official he is spending let's say car is used more for official purposes and less for personal purposes. But for that thing, what he has to do, he has to maintain a logbook. Clearly, if he maintains a logbook that where he has tracked car is maximum used for official purposes, personal purposes for limited use is there. That if he is maintaining a logbook and obtain a certificate from employer, then higher deduction is also possible. That means value of the perquisites can be less. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Then the amount I told you for big cars, small cars, that is 2,400, 1,800, 900, 600. These are the statutory amounts. Okay. The value of the perquisite should be that much. If some money is recovered from the employee, that normally that used to be deducted in other perquisites. Is it not? If some money is recovered from the employee, that used to be deducted.
Yes, sir.
But here that will not be deducted. Because these are the fixed amounts, law has specified this is the amount. No other deduction is possible. Even if employee is recovering some money, employer is recovering some money from it. And part of the month shall be ignored. Right? I told you 2,500 per month, but part of the month that amount should be ignored. So these points you have to keep in mind. Okay. Let us move to next perquisite. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now you see, sometimes car is provided along with driver or chauffeur. If chauffeur facility is provided, then treatment will be like this. The value of the perquisite should be different. If chauffeur driver facility is provided, if it is provided with the car facility and purpose is official, then taxable value is nil. And purpose is personal, the driver's salary is to be added to the value of the car perquisite. And if it is for both, then 900 rupees per month will be added to the car perquisite, to the value of the perquisites per car. Did you understand this?
Yes, sir.
If along with the car driver is provided and it's for official purpose, nothing is to be added. For personal purpose, then driver's salary is to be added. And for both, then 900 rupees per month is to be added. If only driver is provided, car is not provided, only driver is provided, the driver shall be treated as a domestic servant. Okay. And it is fully taxable to the extent it costs to the employer. That means driver salary, entire driver salary shall be a value of the perquisite. Okay. Right?
Yes,
Okay. Now, this is one more perquisite. This is regarding vehicles other than car facility. Okay. If there is some other vehicle is provided, let us say two-wheeler is provided, three-wheeler is provided, then it's a vehicle other than car. Then how to arrive at the value of the perquisite? And here, friends, you have to remember, jeeps are also cars. For income tax purpose, jeeps is also a car. When I say other than car facility, means two-wheeler, three-wheeler, maybe some other kind of vehicle may be provided. That may be included here. Here we'll be seeing these 6 combinations, how value is to be arrived at. Okay, now one by one, let us see. First column is the case situation. Second is who is owning the car, who is owning the vehicle. Then third column is who is maintaining the vehicle. Then fourth column, what is the purpose. The fifth column will arrive at what is the taxable value. Okay.
Yes, sir.
First column you see, car is not car, sorry, vehicle. The vehicle is owned by employer, maintained by employer, and for official purpose. Taxable value is how much?
Nil.
Nil. Why nil?
Because of official purpose.
Official purpose. Second is car is owned by employer, maintained by employer, and for personal purpose. So similarly, okay, maintained by employer is fine, but owned by employer, so 10% of the original cost. Right? And maintained for maintenance charges borne by the employer. So both the things, 10% of the original cost and maintenance charges shall be taxable. Now employer's car is owned by employer, maintained by employer for both. If it is for both, in case of car, there was a fixed amount. But here, what the rule says, reasonable portion of 10% of the original cost plus maintenance charges borne by the employer taxable in the hands of specified employees. Specified employees you already know. So it is taxable only in the hands of specified employees, but that be a reasonable proportion. Reasonable proportion, we have to find out what is the 10% of the original cost for ownership and what is the maintenance cost. Maybe on the basis of use, you can say 50-50 or 60-40. Like this, you have to appropriate it. Okay. Then
Yes.
case 4. Vehicle is owned by employee, but maintained by employer and for official purpose. Official purpose, taxable value is nil. Case 5. Vehicle is owned by employee, maintained by employer for personal purpose. Owned by employee is fine, but maintained by employer for personal. So maintenance charge borne by employer shall be taxable in the hands of all employees. Here it is for all employees. Earlier it was for specified. Okay. Case 6. Employee's car, employer is maintaining for both purpose. Then maintenance charge borne by employer, okay, minus 600 rupees per month. Okay, has to be deducted. Higher amount can be claimed if proper records are maintained. Otherwise, 600 rupees per month shall be deducted. It is taxable in the hands of all employees. So this is the situation, or this is how the value of the perquisites other than car, if it is provided. This is the way in which the value needs to be arrived at. Okay, friends.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, let us move to the next perquisite. This is about free meal. Okay. Initially, we had discussed this thing. If free meal is provided, we have to see where the free meal is provided. If it is provided in a remote area, offshore installation, etc. Right? Inside the sea, there is some location, there is some installation, and where free meals are provided, then it is not taxable. Remote area and offshore installation, etc. not taxable. Okay. If it is provided at business premises and the office it is provided, in the premises or outside through non-transferable coupons or electronic food card. These points we have discussed earlier. If the company is providing food or providing through non-transferable coupons, coupons are given to the employees, or electronic food cards are given to the employees. Employee can go outside and have encash it and use it for food. Then up to 50 rupees per meal is exempt. And what is taxable amount? Expenditure in excess of rupees 50 is taxable. Okay. In other cases means, let us say it is provided in lots, provided in a restaurant, but not through non-transferable coupons or electronic food cards. Then whatever is the actual cost to the employer, that amount will be the perquisite value. That amount will be the taxable perquisites in the hands of employer. Did you understand this?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. So inside business premises, it is not taxable up to rupees 50. But outside, Then if it is provided through non-transferable coupons or through electronic food cards, up to rupees 50, it is not taxable, excess is taxable. But if it is provided outside through some other means, then actual cost to the employer is taxable. But here you have to remember, tea, snacks, non-alcoholic beverages during the working hours are not taxable. Okay, so these refreshments are not taxable. We are talking about free meals. Free meals is tax-free up to rupees 50 per meal. Beyond that, it will be taxable. Okay.
So that tax amount only incremental amount or the
Only
total
incremental
amount?
amount. Let us say in your office, your employer is providing you lunch, right? But the cost of lunch is 80 rupees.
Okay.
Then it is provided in the premises, inside the office, right? Okay, inside the office, how much is taxable? In this case, who can tell me?
30 rupees.
30 rupees. 50 rupees exempt. Suppose instead of lunch, office is providing you some snacks. Not lunch, so snacks is providing. How much is taxable?
Nil.
Nil, because it is not a meal, it's a snacks. Okay, so you have to be careful whether to consume meal in the office or whether you are going to consume snacks in the office. Okay, right. And let us say, instead of providing in the premises, let us say in the office premises, office is giving you a coupon, right? And this is non-transferable. That means your name will be written. You can go, you only can use it. Somebody else cannot use it. Somebody else cannot use it in the restaurant. How to? So if that is there, then also how much is exempt? Up to rupees 50. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Excess is taxable. But on the other hand, let us say employer is taking you to a restaurant outside and you are having food there. Not through electronic food card, not through non-transferable coupons. Then how much is taxable?
Actual cost.
Actual cost is taxable. Okay. So this is how free meals shall be treated. Now, friends, one more perquisite we learned today. This is about holiday home facility. You know holiday home. So many employers, many companies, they have holiday home in different places. Employees can go and spend their holidays there. If holiday home facility is provided, then what is the taxable value of that perquisite? Is the notional market value of such facility. That means what will be the market value of that facility in the same locality, that will be taken into consideration. Okay. But let us say holiday home facility is used for official tour. Then it is exempt. You have gone to Simla on an official tour and staying in your holiday home. So that is exempt because you are on official tour. But for personal purposes you are going, then notional market value will be taxed.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Right? Is it clear? Now, next point is that official tour and family members are accompanying and the tour expenses is reimbursed. If that is the kind of situation. You are going on official tour, but along with you, family members have accompanied. Then the expenditure incurred for family members is the value of perquisite. Your expenditure incurred by company for you, that is not a perquisite because you are an official tour. Okay. But expenditure which is incurred on your family members, that is taxable perquisite.
Okay, sir.
Right? So this is a situation when you are on official tour or employee is on official tour and family members are accompanying him. Now, the fourth situation is that official tour extended for personal purposes. So you have gone for official tour for 5 days, but you stayed 2 more days. Then what will happen? Then expenditure incurred for such extended period shall be the taxable value of the perquisite. For extended period. Okay. For your normal official tour, that is not taxable. But for the extended period, that amount will be the taxable perquisite. Is it clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Now, one more project we will be learning. This is about credit card. You know what is a credit card, right? So, credit card may be used for official purposes as well as for personal purposes. If credit card is provided by the company and it is used by the employee and it is used for official purposes, it is exempted. You are using the credit card for official purposes. So the credit card facility is exempted, provided detail of expenditure is maintained by the employer. Employer must have maintained the detail. These are the expenditure income. And employer also certifies that the expenditure is wholly and exclusively for official purposes. So two things are required. Detail of expenditure must be maintained. And certificate, it should be certified that these expenditures which are incurred through credit card are wholly and exclusively for official purposes. If that is so, then credit card facilities, that value of that credit card facility as a percentage shall be exempted. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
But if it is used for personal purposes, then whatever expenditure you have incurred, that is taxable per project. In addition to that, the credit card fees are also taxable per project. So some companies charge annual fees, and in credit card also some other fees are associated with that. So those fees are also taxable because on your behalf, company is bearing that fee. And credit card used for personal purposes.
Yes, sir.
Is it clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, next perquisite is that gift. Gift or gift vouchers given by employer. Some employers give gift and gift vouchers also. Vouchers, let's say voucher will be given to the employee. Employee can go to a particular store and encash it. Right? If gift in cash are convertible into money, it is fully taxable. But gift in kind is exempted of rupees 5,000 in aggregate. Okay, in aggregate, rupees 5,000 gift from employer to employee is exempt. But cash gift is fully taxable, or gift which is convertible into money. Let us say gift check. That's also taxable. Okay. Did you understand this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So next perquisite will be about club expenditure. So what we'll do, we'll stop here. Club expenditure, sweat equity shares, etc. We'll plan to cover it in our next session. So after this, you see so many perquisites you have covered. Few more perquisites are also there, and few other provisions are also there under salary. We'll be learning in our next class. So next class, please come prepared. After this, please read it, and videos will be available. Please go through that. This video will be uploaded today itself. Go through this. And do you have any query right now? Any doubt you have?
So what is the meaning of notional market value?
Notional?
Market value.
Notional market value. Notional market value means you have to imagine what can be the possible market value, not actual market value, because you are not staying. Okay, this is in the context of holiday home you are asking. Is it
Yes,
that? So let
yes,
us
sir.
say your holiday home facility is available at Puri and you are staying there. Similar, in the similar location, in a similar room, at what price you will be getting? That is the notional market value. That means
Okay.
assuming that you are not staying in that your own holiday home, you are staying in the neighborhood. How much you have to pay? That is notional value.
Okay, sir.
Are you getting? Suppose you are working in State Bank of India. You are going and staying in SBI holiday home. right? Let us say instead of that place, you are staying in another holiday home, another hotel nearby, or another, let us say, lodge, anywhere you want to stay. What will be the values? You can find it out. That will be the notional value for you.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Thanks
Okay,
for
friends.
explaining.
Thank you very much. We'll catch up in your next class. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.